KRS has been recognized by Business Rate as the top-rated home care provider in Philadelphia and surrounding counties, based on outstanding Google reviews and consistently high client satisfaction. Also, KRS has great benefits for caregivers, referral bonus, weekly or daily pay, paid holidays, vacation time, paid sick time, medical insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, 401k. Also, they have bilingual speaking personnel. Join our team today, 267-315-9490, KRS. Call today. I want to welcome everybody to another episode of Tales from the Jails. We're here live in Power Rooms USA. TNS Media Group is the team and the family. Got my counterpart, Mr. Brahim Jackson. We got a special guest today, a special guest. One of the guys who I see pushing the needle as far as, prison reform at the prisons, talking to the inmates and the people who are behind that wall, none other than Freeway.
Yes, sir. What's up? How y'all feeling today?
Cool, man.
We chilling free, man.
What's up? Alhamdulillah.
I want to start by, talking, and I want to thank you for coming on to this podcast because I know you are one of the ones, like I said, who was pushing for prison reform, and you
most definitely
may have had loved ones who may be behind the wall, so forth and so on. So I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. And I also want to thank you, Black, man, for being here as well, as usual. So
it's all good, man. I really feel like what y'all doing is powerful. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it was a no-brainer for me to come up. And y'all got to keep it going, man, because it's needed.
I appreciate that. So coming up in Philly, Free, I know Philly is a rough spot coming up, and we see other cities as well that are rough, but us being from Philly, we understand what it takes to actually survive here.
Yeah, most definitely.
If you can make it out of Philly, I said it earlier, if you can make it out of Philly, you basically make it anywhere.
I'm telling you, it's a fact, man. I traveled the world, I've been in a lot of hoods all over the United States, outside of the United States, and being from Philly is definitely an advantage, trust me.
And you coming up in Philly, how was it for you, early on, Philly, because Philly is rough, like we said. How was it for you early on?
I'm originally from West, so, I was in West probably the whole first half of my life. I went to West Philly High for a couple of weeks, then I transferred to Kensington High with my cousins down North Philly, so I started going to school with my cousins, and that's when I started coming down north. So out West, it still was dangerous. I still seen people getting shot, but it was a little more middle class than it was when I moved down north. You know what I'm saying? So down north is really when I got in the mix, started selling drugs and started talking about doing all the stuff that I talked about on the albums.
Now, coming up in West Philly, both of us are from West Philly as well. He's from West, I'm from West, we're from the same area. And like I spoke to you about earlier, one of the guys who was speaking about you when you first got on was our guy, our brother, who's your brother, Shellyano.
Yeah, shout out to Shellyano. That's my brother, man. And he's real, influential in my career. When I was a young boy, just running around, rapping anywhere, Shell was around, man. And he had, a lot of passion in his music, man. And I feel like not only Shell, but it was a lot of people that I was around on my come up that all contributed to the MC that I am today. I feel like a little bit of everybody helped shape the artist that I am today.
Now, prison. Our show, Tales from the Jails, we talk about prison and the oppression of prison. Did you ever spend any time in prison?
Yeah, I didn't do no major time in prison, but in 99, I got arrested for possession with intent to deliver, and I had 3 warrants. So I think I spent 3 months in CFCF. I had a detainer, so before the detainer got lifted, I had to be in there. So, I wasn't feeling it at all. Being a place where people tell you when to eat, when to sleep, it wasn't for me. And once I got my experience with jail, I was listen, I'm never trying to go back there. And alhamdulillah, once I got out, I was able to, get with Beans and get with Jay and get with The Rock. I tell people, I feel like Rockefeller was my reentry program. Because when I was, after I got, when I came home, I had to go to a program called The Net. So it was an in treatment program. So I got booked with a bunch of coke, and then my lawyer was able to get me into one of those programs, because it was my first offense or whatever. So I was in there for 90 days, and I would be talking to Beans, and, he'd be like, yeah, I'm in L.A. When you get off house arrest, you're going to be right with me. Yeah, I'm in New York. When you get off house arrest, you're going to be right with me. And when I got off house arrest, I was right with him. And if I didn't have that in place, I probably would have went back to what got me locked up in the first place, and that's selling drugs. You know, so.
And me and him, I talk to him about it all the time, you know, and I know you have guys who have went to jail and came home.
Yeah, for sure.
How important is it to have that type of support? Like
a lot
you
of
said?
my homies. It's very important, and you know, I'm definitely tuned in and tapped in with all my homies that's in jail, and I try to support them the best that I can, because being in there, man, is rough, man. Not only, you know what I mean, on the person that's in there, but on their families, like, you know, and then when you in there, you worrying about your family, you worrying about your kids, like, it's a rough stop, man, you know.
Let me ask you a question, Free, because we talking about dudes being in jail. When they come home, right? And we talking about the convicted, you know, brothers of ours that's still behind them walls. When them dudes come home, to you, what is support to them, right? And how much support? Do it end? Do it stop? Because you know a lot of dudes that come home from prison, man, they ain't intact, especially if they did a whole lot of time, man. A lot of people expect them dudes to come and just hit the ground running.
Yeah, man.
You know, and that's a myth.
Yeah, for sure.
For anybody that been in the penitentiary 10 years or better, they can get a check. Yeah. They can get a check from the government because they're not mentally able.
Yeah, like
no more.
being in there is definitely a hardship, and you know, on your mental period, like, you know, it's a rough thing to deal with. You know, we got a lot of brothers that's strong, that's dealing with it, but it's rough.
But the question is, do you cut them off at the year and they still ain't getting it right?
It really, to me, it depends on the person. Because I had people that been in jail that came home that's solid, and like, you know, I would help them when they came home, and I'd be there for them when they needed certain things, but they didn't OD. Then I had people that came home from prison that just tried to OD and just wanted me to take care of them like they was my son. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on the person and their mentality. And just like you deal with any other people, any other person that's trying to leech onto you and that's trying to take advantage of you, when it gets to a point where you feel like they doing too much and they trying to use you, then of course you got to cut them off.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And like you said, that balance, a lot of times, you know, you have to understand that.
That word, man, is just, and everything in life is about balance. Like, everything is about balance, man. And if you can maintain that good balance, you can be successful in whatever you do.
So you know, like I said, you have been out here. You have, like you said, you have guys who come home. How difficult is it? Like, everybody don't really understand the other side of the spectrum, as far as guys like yourself, like me, like him, who when guys go to jail and you out here and you're their support. You paying for lawyers. You paying for, you know, taking care of their family members. You paying for all types of stuff. Put money on their books. How much of a issue is that, or how do you deal with that type of, you know, pressure?
That's another thing that it depends on the person. Like, if it's somebody that you really love and that you really care about, you're gonna be there for them no matter what. Like, you know, if it's somebody that you just all right with, you're gonna try to help as much as you can. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it really depends on the person. And alhamdulillah, like, you know, I'm in an all right situation where I can be there for my peoples. You know, but when things get rough and if you can't do nothing for yourself, you can't do nothing for nobody else. And like, a lot of times people don't understand that, and people get upset with people, you know. But if a person out here struggling on trying to take care of themselves and their family, it's not too much that they could do for a person that's in jail. You know?
Wow. And just to speak about that, how gratifying is that for you to be able to be there for them? Man,
listen, man, it feels amazing. Like, to be there for my homies, especially like my old heads and people that really done stuff for me. Like, when they come to me and need stuff, I'd be like, man, listen, I'm happy to do something for you. Like, and it probably has a lot to do with me being Muslim too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a good feeling when you look out for people in general. Like, you know, alhamdulillah. When you're doing it for the right reasons. Like, you know, when you're doing it for the sake of Allah, solely for the sake of Allah, then, you know, it always feels great.
For sure.
I got a question for you, Free. You know, there's a saying that's been going around for a couple months now, and people been answering it in the way I want to ask you, though. When people say, fuck the streets, what is your answer to, or not even answer, but your theory or your opinion to that when you have a person say, yeah, fuck the streets?
I mean,
have you heard that before?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You know, I heard, I'm in tune, bro. Like, you know, I'm in tune with everything that's going on to the best of my ability. I mean, that's really a rough statement to say fuck the streets, because the streets built who I am. Like, you know, I had my man, shout out to my brother Malik. We went to Mecca. The first time I went to Mecca when I made Umrah, he went to Umrah with me. And back in the day, I used to date his sister. You probably heard me talk about it in one of my raps or whatever. And I talked to her probably like a couple years ago, and we was having a conversation, and she was like, if you would have stayed my boyfriend, you wouldn't be Freeway. Because I wouldn't have let you be out in the street selling drugs and running around holding guns and all that. I'd have tried to make sure that you was in school and tried to make sure you did the right thing. Like, you know, and everything that I did in the streets is the reason why I was able to make a classic album, because I poured my heart into that album. I still had one foot in the streets when I made Philadelphia Freeway, so I could never say fuck the streets. Mm-hmm. But then my cousin Raheem got killed by the cops. I got like out of 20 of my homies, 15 of them is dead. Some of them, like probably 9 or 10 of them is in jail. Like in the height of our career, Beans went to jail for a shooting. Like, you know, I've been locked up, you know, and when I got locked up for possession with intent to deliver, I was like actually in a crack house. And then when I went to court and the cops gave their testimony, they said, yeah, we seen them selling drugs in a lot. And I'm like, damn, the cops lie too? Like, what the like, I'm like, I don't got no chance to win this. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't even go back. Like, that's why I went on the run. Because I'm like, if the cops is lying on me, there's no way that I could win this.
There's no justice.
There's no justice. Like, you know, like being young, I think I was like 18 at the time. So being young, fresh off the streets and being naive, like I was thinking at least I have a fair shot in court. And now you don't even have a fair shot down there. So, like, you know, it's rough.
Now in our city, and you know, you see a lot, but I mean, just the last couple of years, the gun violence was through the roof.
Definitely.
And did you have any young guys that you knew that got caught up in that type of in that violence that was going on around the city?
Yeah, man, I was one of them. Like, you know, I used to, man. You know, we was Muslim. I probably don't even need to talk about that on the podcast, but we was like, I used to be strapped in school, like, you know, every day, like, you know, and I had a Tommy Hill book bag, and I used to have like a sawed off in that joint, and nobody even knew. Like, we was drawn, so you know. But when we was younger, it wasn't as, like, you know, we was ready and we was strapped and we was ready for whatever we was going to go through, but we went through it with who we went through it with. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing random, or like we wasn't trying to do nothing to somebody for nothing. Like, you know, nowadays it's like these youngins just doing stuff for nothing to anybody.
Well, let me ask you a question to that right there. Do you think the kids, the generation underneath us, is following our footsteps? Do you think they following the ways that we did?
Most definitely. I definitely, like, and I, you know, I make dua a lot about that. Like, you know, from, you know, stuff that I talked about, you know, stuff that I, you know, even if I didn't mean to glorify it, I did in my music, even just telling my story. So I do feel partly responsible about the generation that came under us. You know, the generation that came behind us. Because they really are way more out of control than we were. Like, you know, we had morals. We wasn't doing nothing to nobody's kids or nobody's family. Like, if we see you with your mom, you cool. You with your mom. Like, we
you got to pass.
Like, you know. Nowadays, it's none of that, man. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I try to give back as much as possible. Because in my early life, I did a lot. I was a drug dealer. Like, I was in the streets. Like, you know, I took a lot from the community. And, you know, as Muslims, we want our good to outweigh our bad, you know, before it's our time. So I try to do as much as I can. Am I an angel? No, I'm not perfect at all. But I try, and I try to do as much good as I can.
There's a question we pose up here a lot, that we talk about a lot. We try to weight it too. You have the drug dealer, you have the drug user. Which one would you say is more detrimental to society? Is it the drug user or is it the drug dealer?
I would probably say the drug dealer.
Why you say that?
Because without the drug dealer, there would be no drug user. And I know it sounds crazy, but if you remove the drug dealer, where are they going to get the drugs from? You know what I'm saying? So,
no, I might got a rebuttal that free. They going to find it somewhere else.
No, but I'm saying if we answering that
overall,
answering that question like overall, like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, like in reality, like they going to get it. Like, you know, if you just go around and lock all the drug dealers up right now, it's going to be another drug dealer that comes around. But if you remove the ability for it to be a drug dealer,
then it
won't be no drugs. You know, so the drug dealer is definitely to me, I feel like it's more detrimental to the community.
And I always say the same. I agree with you, and I say that more so because the drug dealers, what we do over those who were drug dealers or currently selling drugs, we destroy the community because we are now, not only we harming one individual, we selling it to a large mass of individuals. And now you're affecting the babies that's in the stomach. You're affecting the household. You're affecting so many different people by just serving drugs to one individual. And and if you don't, these drug blocks when we was young, I don't know how they are now, but I'm pretty sure it's probably still doing not a lot of numbers, but these drug blocks can do $10,000, $20,000 a day. So how many people are you serving drugs to, making that amount of money? And you're just destroying lives of kids who haven't even been born.
For years. Like, if you really knee deep in it like I was, like for years. Like, and to the point where we normalized it like it was our regular job. Like, so.
And now our city right now, we are in a place now, and I know it's going on in a lot of other cities, but we're talking about Philadelphia. We're talking the Philadelphia Freeway right now. So Philadelphia right now, you see Larry Krasner. Larry Krasner is like they say online. He's BTA. Larry Krasner, BTA. He's putting the belt to the behinds of individuals, criminals, and he's making people pay for what they do, or he's locking people up for what they're supposedly doing.
Their actions.
So how do you feel about Larry and what he's doing in the city?
Shout out to Larry. I actually did some work with him, for his reelection. I think what he's doing is needed. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's needed, and I definitely respect him for the other thing that he's doing, like, bringing people home.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And really looking into these cases and finding the unjust in these cases. Like, so that's first and foremost, he's super solid for that. And then, he's just doing his job.
Exactly. And for me, looking at, Larry Krasner.
That's another thing, not to cut you off, but that's another thing about when we were in the streets. I don't want to sound like a bitter old head or nothing like that, but we knew they were doing their job. And we kind of respected it. Like, we wasn't doing too much. We wasn't drawing. Like, if they came around, we knew we had to,
get out of there.
Get out of here, shut it down. Like, it was like, and to a certain extent, they respected us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but it's out of here now. Like, not too much of that going on.
Now,
but there's so many other ways to get money 2026. Like, you know what I'm saying? It, like,
good money at that,
all
too.
you got to do is apply yourself. Like, put a little bit of effort into it, man. There's so many ways to get money. Like, look at Wallow. He came home and seen what he did with that phone. He's a millionaire from the phone. Like, and after doing years, if that's not motivation, I don't know what is. Like,
yeah, I see that all the time. And shout out to Wallow. And I talked to Wallow just the other day, and I was on the phone with him, and then he was telling me that he just shot a bunch of videos on his phone.
Yeah.
He said, whenever I'm in the mood, when I think about something, he said, I shoot a bunch of videos. He said, I have a bunch of videos on my phone that I haven't even put out yet, that I just sit down, look at my phone and talk about it and I just have them loaded, ready to go. And he's like, that's just me, a part of my motivation. Whatever's in my mind, I'm gonna put it out there to the masses. Off my phone.
But I got a question.
And that's Wallow, and that's his lane. You could some of us out here come up with something totally different and become a millionaire from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the lane that Wallow chose. Some other people might be able to do the same thing that he did, but if you really think and apply yourself and come up with something totally different, you could become a millionaire.
Exactly.
And set a whole new trend. Like, it's possible.
Go ahead, what you gonna say, yeah?
I forgot what I was ready to say. No, I ain't forget. As far as because we be speaking about Wallow coming home, doing that with the phone and becoming a millionaire, but a lot of people can't follow that format. How many people you see every day on the phone and doing stuff and don't go nowhere?
That's why I said what I just said.
Exactly. That's why
you gotta find out what works for you. That work for Wallow, that might not work for you.
Exactly.
But it might be something out here that can work for you. Like, you just
long
gotta
as you
apply
find
yourself. Like, you could look at what a person does and be motivated by it, but not trying to copy the same thing that they doing.
Exactly.
It should motivate you to want to do your own thing or try to come up with your own, like, lane. Like, like.
What motivates you though, Free, to continue to go out there and put your best foot forward and just to keep yourself relevant as you already do? Or what motivates you in life?
Man, just life, man, and it's just as far as the music, I feel like I still got something to say. As far as everything else, I started when I was diagnosed with kidney failure in 2015. I started a foundation called Freedom Thinkers Academy, which is music, health, education, and culture. On the health side, I travel the world and I preach prevention so people don't get to the point where I was at, where I had to get a life-sustaining kidney transplant. I sit on the community advisory board for Gift of Life here in Philadelphia. I sit on the community advisory board for Donate Life on the West Coast. I work with plenty of companies, Bayer, Johnson & Johnson, a bunch of different companies, health organizations, and I just tell my story so people can have a fighting chance. I had 3 of the leading risk factors for kidney failure, one being hypertension, another one being diabetes, and just being African American is a risk factor. So I had those risk factors, and I was still unaware that could happen to me. So I felt like it was important for me to spread that information. And through doing that, help a lot of people. On the education side, we do workforce development. We got phlebotomy, we got medical billing and coding, we got medical tech, digital media. We partner with different organizations. In Philadelphia, we partner with OIC. We provided a couple phlebotomy cohorts, and then we did like 5 or 6 digital media cohorts. And all of our digital media students, we working on a project now that we're going to put out sometime during this year. And to date, we graduated almost 200 students. And we helping change lives. Like, that's what motivates me. Like, I feel like the reason why a lot of these young folks is getting into the streets and doing the stuff that they're doing is because they don't have many outlets. You can sign up for one of our programs, and it's free, 100% free. You take the course, you get a certification. Now you have a certification. You can go straight into the workforce and start earning money. My daughter, Harmony, that passed away from cancer in 2021, I just did a program at the school that she graduated from, Mastery Charter Picket Campus. We just did a phlebotomy cohort with some juniors and some seniors. So they all passed. They all passed the cohort. The seniors have the ability to get their certification and go straight into the workforce. And the juniors, once they graduate next year, they can get their certification and go straight into the workforce. So if they don't want to go to college, they could be a phlebotomist. And phlebotomists earn anywhere from $52,000 to $73,000 a year. So that's right out of school. Like, so even if you're still trying to figure out what you're doing, you can get this job and you can immediately start taking care of yourself. Opportunities mean a lot. Like, so we're just trying to provide people with opportunities, and alhamdulillah, it's working.
Now, for you taking time out of your busy schedule, and you're going to these state penitentiaries and and motivating the guys who are set to come home, or even some guys who may not come home. You're in there talking to these guys. How is that for you, like, to do those these meet and greets and spread this awareness?
It's surreal. That's that word people be saying, like, surreal means, like, so real is so real, man. Like, every time I walk in them Jones, like, I'm like, man, like, I remember being in here and not being able to leave. Like, and when I leave out, I feel bad for the people that can't leave out. Like, it's really a rough stop, man. Like, we just was at Chester probably like a month and a half, 2 months ago. We went twice. We went, I went one time with Wallow. Shout out the brother Mike that be facilitating.
Mike Scott, yeah.
Mike Scott and a couple other good brothers. Wallow actually cooked some food for the inmates and everything. It was dope. And, I shared some of my story with him. And then the second time we went back, we put a studio in there, so they could record while they in there and, hopefully, sharpen up on some of these skills and all that while they in there. So when they come home, they have a shot at, a successful career or whatever.
And what kind of studio was it? Was it podcast,
a recording
rap,
studio?
Recording?
Yeah, so they could use it for podcasting and they could use it to record music.
Oh, wow. Wow. And these things that you mentioned, like the podcasting and the recording of music now, these things wasn't allowed years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't allowed years ago, man. I think it was last year or maybe either was last year or the end of 2024. I was in Chicago and I went to Cook County Prison, and they had a music program in there. Like, when they was telling us all you gotta do is be good for 3 months and you could join the music program. Not only did they have a music program, they had a whole floor. They had culinary, they had a music program. This one of the worst prisons in Chicago. Like, I was blown away when I seen it. I even did a song with some of the inmates that was working in the recording studio, and they was able to put it out and put it on the streaming networks and all that. You know, when like having stuff like that can really take you out of there.
Exactly.
You know, for a little while. Like, you know,
Yes, it can.
and it can motivate you to want to get out of there. Like, listen, I'm doing this. Like, some of them really was talented. Like, you know, they really had some good music in that joint. You know?
And going to these prison systems, you know, like you said, some guys are coming home. Being in these places where you are visiting inmates, how many inmates have you met or talked to that's never coming home again? If you can put a number on it.
Probably at least like 50. And it's rough. It's a different conversation. Like, and then when I be talking to the inmates, I gotta be careful, because like some of them are coming home and some of them are not coming home. So when I'm talking to the ones that can come home, I don't want to like offend the ones that can't come home. So like, you know, it's touchy, man. Like, you know, and a lot of them old heads that's in there got some solid game, and like, you know, and like I forget the old head name that's in Chester, but he's the one that's like the reason why we able to come in there, because he put a lot of work in and was facilitating programs inside of Chester, like, you know. And it's rough, man. Like, it's a lot of good men in there, good, healthy, strong men in there. Like, I'm in there like, man, y'all could really be out here in the world doing major things right now, man. A lot of Muslim brothers, man, like, you know. And it's sad, man, you know, but they fighting. And the good thing about when I was in there is they do have like some kind of community, and like, you know, they pray together, and like, you know, they're doing podcasts and they're coming together. You know, the reason why we was in there with speaking is through them. Like, you know, they already had the program going on, and we came in to talk and share some information with them. So, you know, that's the good thing. Some of the brothers are actually getting together and trying to do something positive and trying to better themselves, you know.
Just to go back to our city really fast. They just had, you know, an indictment. A lot of these young guys got indicted. A lot of we know who they are. You know, different gangs, and we always talk about this all the time, and not glorifying anything. But back when we was running the streets, and you seen these type of indictments, you see whether it's you know, state indictments or federal indictments, it was money involved. Money. Maybe some drugs.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely about something.
And now these indictments now, there's just all murders.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you see that? I mean, I know both of them are bad, but now these indictments now, these are just all murders.
Yeah, it's different, man. It's like if somebody step on your shoe, they gotta go. Like, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, it's like I said, like, you know, I feel like it's like what we was doing mutated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
we was talking about our real life experiences, things that we did in the past. Once I got signed, I wasn't shooting nobody. Like, you know, once I, like, you know, in the beginning of my career, I still was in the streets a little bit, but like once I knew things was official and I got it checked, I was not going back to the streets. I was not trying to go back to the streets. It's like, that's a part of being an artist now. Like, how many people you can drop, and it's wild to me. Like, you just want to be in the jail with your homies. You don't want no women. You don't want a wife. Like, you're like, it's wild.
It's not.
And then a lot of them, once they get in and they get some time, then they start thinking, like, you know, like, wow, man, maybe what I was doing was wrong, or I shouldn't have been doing that. Like, you know, and you know.
Go ahead. What you want to say, Young?
It's because I heard Freeway say, you know, being around, a lot of men don't go to jail just to, you know, because they want to be around niggas and stuff like that. I went and did a significant time of my life in jail, and believe me, you know, I do not want to be around men, period.
For sure.
I went and did that time because of what I was chasing. I wanted some money, but I didn't go about it the right way.
Yeah, but that's us.
Right.
Like, to me, like, I'm not 100% sure about it, but that's how it looked from the outside looking in.
Right.
Like, niggas be in jail with their homies, like, yeah, we in here. Like, we, you know, that's what we had to do. We in this joint. Like,
I'm saying, but when
the
you
gang
get
in here with me, we cool. Like, you know?
Yeah, when you're in there, what you gonna do? You can't cry about it. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. I got my man in there. And see, the reason why I'm talking from this point, because I come from out of there, from doing a stint of I'm 46 years old, and I done gave them people 30 years of my life.
Wow. I can't even imagine that, bro.
So now when I'm
you know
in
what
there,
I did in 30, you know what I've been doing since I was 21? I
get
traveled
money.
the world.
Exactly.
Like, I've been like,
now I got to catch up because I want to do that in there. I want better for myself. But at the time, before I went in there, I wanted better for myself too. That's why I went in there. But I did it the wrong way. And a lot of these kids coming up now, the message to them, I can't tell nobody what to do and how to do it. I could, Tales from the Jails, we tell you these real stories and bring you live stuff that go on in there to try to deter you in case you're making a mistake to laying you in there.
Most definitely.
But now, what's the message? Like, somebody, we just had a live performance the other day, right? And somebody asked me on stage, he said, what's the method for the youth? I don't know. I think sometimes a person got to touch that pot themselves. You know how motherfuckers like, yo, don't touch that, man, it's hot.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Some people got to go through that.
Experience.
Like, I said in one of my raps, I was like, I wondered what jail was like in 2. I got inside. Like, all my homies was going to jail. Like, it was like a badge of honor.
Right.
That's crazy.
Like, that's the... Damn, like we is kind of like the young bulls now.
Yeah,
like you stand.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
But it was about something though. Like, it was about some money. And I can't even say what they going through is not about nothing, because it's about
whatever
they disrespected their homies and they went, like, you know what I'm saying? So it is about something, but like, we really need to like stop, like, or like try to bring it to a minimum, because there's a lot of people losing their life, and it's sad.
And
man.
then on the other hand, on a flip side of it, because it don't just affect the person that's in jail. You got family members out here like, damn, they gotta pay their bills, they gotta take care of themselves, and then you want a couple dollars. Like, it's more so crushing the people that's out here riding with you than you. You stayed up in there, you ain't gotta pay no bills, you eat 3 times a day for free. Okay, yeah, don't nobody wanna be confined in that. But if we really, really digging deep, who's not benefit the most? The person that's out there. Like, you got a person in there, this man took care of me my whole life in there. I went back, did a violation, still was taking care of me, paying my rent in there. I ain't got no cheap rent. I'm in there for 2 years. So this is hurting him more than it's hurting me.
Nobody benefiting, man.
Yeah, that's a bad joint, man.
Benefiting. I had a homie that did a dub, and he was out here with us for a couple years, and now we back in that joint.
He back in there.
Back in that joint.
See, a lot of people don't.
Like,
it's not no excuse.
Good brother, like good solid brother. Like,
he back in there.
Yeah, man, it's great. Like, streets, man.
But I had to learn my lesson like that, because I went back in there free. I just now came home. I've been home now about 1.5 years. I did 21 years. Came home for about 3-4 years. It be the impatience, especially when you used to getting some money.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got to take this route. Is harder than the route of being in the streets.
Listen,
it's
patience is very, very important, man. No matter what you do, you gotta have.
I'm still learning that.
I learned that the first time I went to Saudi. Like, I'm at the height of my career, like, big houses, foreign cars, and I went on a trip to Saudi with the one of the local masjids, and like, I slept on the floor like everybody else. Like, I had to, like, when I go to the airport, I breezed through first class and all that. Like, I had to wait. I had to be patient. I had to learn patience. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was a beautiful experience for me, man. Like, everything takes patience, man. You gotta have patience, man. No matter what I was trying to be a rapper since I was 14 years old. I got on probably when I was like 20, 21. Like, everything takes patience, man. You gotta have some patience, man. Like, if you put God first and you're trying to achieve a goal, you can achieve that goal, but you got to have some patience. That's what's wrong with nowadays.
The new generation.
Instant gratification. Everybody expect instant gratification.
You think it's social media? Social media plays a major role.
Social media plays a major part. It affects me sometimes. Like, I got to come to my sense. Like, yeah, like, damn, he got like, damn, he just bought a new, like, he just got a new, man. Like, check that account, man. I'm about to go. Yeah, I mean, I had to snap out of it, man.
Yeah.
That social media is dangerous, boy. It's dangerous.
Yeah,
there's so many people fraud. You know how many people I know that's frauding on that joint?
Exactly.
Calling me, needing stuff, and they be on that joint looking like the kingpin.
Oh, man, that's crazy, man. Tricking
like,
people.
It's crazy, yo.
Yo, listen, Max said something. He said, I should complain about having sneakers till I saw somebody who ain't had no feet.
Most definitely. And that's real. The first time I went to Saudi,
crazy, man. When he said that way that I said, damn, I gotta start looking at people who He said, I used to complain about not having new sneaks until I saw somebody who ain't had no feet.
That's a fact. You gotta always try to look at the cup that's half full, man. First time I went to Saudi, it was a brother on like one of those things that you move the refrigerator with, like going to prayer, like scooting himself on there with his arms. And you know, we feeling like, bro, you need some help? Like, no, I need all my barricades. Scooping himself to the line, to the prayer line. I'm like, wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't complain about nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always somebody that's doing better than you, and there's always somebody that's doing worse than you.
Facts.
Man. So you gotta appreciate what you got, no matter what it is, man. Trust me, man. Like, even like sometimes I come outside and I just breathe fresh air and I just be grateful. Like, man, like I'm out here, like I can move around, like, you know, like, because what's even deeper than that, as Muslims, we know we gonna be in that grave a long time. Like, we ain't gonna get no sunlight, we ain't gonna get no air, like, you know, so we gotta try to enjoy it while we can, man, and try to make the best of it.
Wow. And, you know, coming from where we come from once again, and just looking at the playing field, looking at the youth. What type of things are you doing outside of, you know, going to the prisons and speaking to the prisons? What are you trying to do for the youth? What's your goal to try to help deter them from going to prison?
Yeah, like some of the things that I was just talking about. Like, you know, the workforce development is like one of the main things that I do. Like, I got my festival next week. August 1st is my 3rd annual Free Fest. It's a free festival for the community. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have live performances. We're going to have, it's the 23rd anniversary of Philadelphia Freeway, so I'm performing the whole Philadelphia Freeway with a live band. We're going to have health screenings. We got a youth village. We got a village for elders. Like, you know, I'm letting these young folks, people from my Freedom Thinkers Academy cohort are going to come and perform. I'm letting some other people from the neighborhood come perform. Like, you know, providing people with opportunities, showing them that this is real. Like, I'm from where y'all from. I had a bunch of tragedies. I was on dialysis for 4 years. I lost my son in 2020, lost my daughter in 2021, lost my dad in 2022. But I'm still here. I'm still pushing. I'm still trying to help people. So I feel like we can show people better showing them than telling them. Like, you know, I feel like showing is proven, and I'm trying my best to show people. Besides Free Fest, the workforce development that we're doing, I told you we almost graduated 200 students. Like, that's 200 people that could have been in the streets.
That's major.
You know what I'm saying? Doing something, hitting somebody upside their head or trying to sell some drugs. Now they have an opportunity to have a legitimate job and legitimate income. Like,
it's crazy you said that too. I got two things. You know, you said you helped 20 kids graduate. Do you know that it takes maybe like 5 high schools in the city of Philadelphia to get 200 kids to graduate? Wow. 5 public schools, public high schools, it may take to get 200 kids.
And that's why I say it's important to meet them where they're at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people come to my programs because of me. Like, you know what I mean? Not like I'm trying to act like I'm some big and mighty person or nothing, but they relate to me. They know my music. Like, you know, they know, you know, it draws them in. Like, you know, especially for my digital media, because our digital media, we have rappers, we have singers, we have dancers, we have people that want to work behind the scenes. Like, you know, it's all different types of people that be in our cohort, like all trying to achieve different goals. And when we come together, it's beautiful. Like, you know, and it's just showing them, like, you know, you can be whatever you want to be. You just got to put your mind to it, and you don't got to be in the streets.
But it's hard though, Freestyle. I'm listening to what y'all saying, man, but I'm pushing back because I'm speaking for everybody. Because
I know it's hard, bro, but if, like, listen, if you got an opportunity, like through my partnership with OIC, some of our courses is like 8 weeks. So you come here every day during the week for 8 weeks for free. You could get a grub. You could be, if it's the summer, it's air conditioning. If it's the winter, it's the heat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's friendly people in there. It's people that you can vibe with and learn different things. And then when you finish, you can get a certification and we assist you in getting a job. So you rather be out here in the streets like doing whatever you're trying to do than versus that?
No, but see, I'm asking
Becomes
the
the choice
question,
then.
right? Hold
It's
up.
a choice
I'm asking the question. Nah, shit don't be a choice sometime, bro.
Why not?
I'm asking the question because we all, like you say, we all grew up in the inner city of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
You got them dudes, man, that got a broken family. You got dudes. I went out there trying to feed my
see
sister
'em.
at 5, 6 years old, stealing raw bacon from the store. I'm not thinking about no motherfucking program. I'm not thinking about that. Mom ain't been there for days. We in here. So how you reach them? When all he knows is, damn, all right, I can go steal this little. Like, he not thinking of, he ain't got the proper attire on, he ain't washed his ass in days.
No, I feel you.
So how you touch them? All that, we speaking to the motherfuckers that got a mom and dad and they just was miscellaneous. No, but how we go deeper?
But
How we go get into them hoods and touch them?
That's a lot of people that be in our cohorts that's like that though.
Yeah.
Like, there's people in there like, you know, that don't have moms, don't have dads. Like, you know, one of my students that's in my cohort was in a wheelchair and he's on dialysis. You know, now he record with me. He be in my studio recording with me. So he knew I was on dialysis, like, and I got through it. So imagine how much motivation that is for bro.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it is like we gotta try our best and show people through examples. Like, you might be the person that can help the people. Like, you know what I mean? You said how many years you said you did?
Man, I did over 21 years.
You did over 21 years. You might be able to relate to them young boys more than somebody else. So everybody got to play their part.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
everybody got to
play their part. What I'm doing is what I can do. Like, you know, I'm trying the best that I can do. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if it was 100 of us trying to do the best that we can do, then we'd be better off.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'd definitely be better off. I just be wanting to speak for the ones that's, you know, because you got levels to poverty. You got levels to, you know, niggas doing, it's levels to everything in life.
And I see it, like, I'm moving around in these streets. Like, people see me. Like, I'm not like one of them people that be hiding from people. I'm out here.
You out here
People
doing the
see
work.
me every day.
Hands on.
Like, my studio is in the hood. Like, you know, and that I come through the hood when I'm going to record. So
You seeing it.
I see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not one of them bulls that ain't in tune. I'm around. Like, you know, so I see what you're talking about all the time.
Like that shit.
I
That,
got people in my like somebody that's close family member we just had to send to treatment in Florida. Like, you know, like, this shit affects me. Like, my son passed away from this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, this shit is real.
Let's talk about that. So you just you know, sorry to hear about your son, you know, passing. How did your son pass again?
Man, so he had a drug problem. Like, you know, and earlier that year, we put him in a treatment program. He was doing good. I think he came home like June. And, you know, he was living with me, you know, in the burbs. And he was doing good. But, you know, he kept wanting to come to Philly. Like, you know, and it's crazy, man, because one day, like, I had a show in Philly. Like, you know, and I would try to keep him away from the city because I know that's where the problem is at.
it's triggers.
You know, and it's triggers and all that. So I try to keep him away from the city as much as I can, and it worked for a little while. You know, one day we had a show. I had a show on 52nd Street, like in front of one of my old schools, like on 52nd and Pine. My son was on stage with me, like, you know, him and my daughter, we performed, and like we trying to ride back to the crib. That nigga jumped out the car. Like, I jumped out the car, tried to chase him, like, you know, but
How old was he?
he was 20. He was 21 when he passed away.
Wow, so he hopped out the car and you tried to chase him.
You know, I tried chasing, like, you know, and like we had good days, we had bad days, man. And one weekend, he left my house to go to Philly, like, you know what I'm saying? And it probably was like Sunday or something, and we didn't hear from him for like a day. And then they found him, he was unconscious. And he was unconscious for so long that the oxygen was stopped going to his brain. You know, so, man, you never expect to lose a child, bro. Like, that's like, even when I was in the hospital, like, I expected him to pull through, man. Like, you know, and it was a struggle. Like, we was rumbling. Like, you know what I mean? To keep it all being with you, like, that shit hurt so much, man. And like, even like when my son was going through his shit, like, that's why social media is so fucked up. Cause even like when my son was going, like, somebody caught him out there and was like, put a picture on there, like, look at Freeway son, like, he out here, like, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be so transparent with y'all. Like, I remember one day I was with my son and he was looking at social media and he was like, shout out to K-Dot. You know what I mean?
Shout out to
God
K-Dot,
willing
man.
that, you know, K-Dot, you know, win his fight with this shit. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it
shout
was
out to
back and
K-Dot.
forth for him. Like, inshallah, Allah allow him to pull through that.
Allahumma ameen.
But one day, my son was like looking at the phone and he started laughing like, ha, look at K-Dot. Like, he down there like, and I'm like, you going through damn near the same thing K-Dot going through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't laugh at him. Like, what's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, then K-Dot outlasted my son. The same person he was laughing at.
Same person he was laughing at.
Wow.
And the reason why I'm being so transparent, because this shit is important. Y'all need to hear this. Like, this shit is real. I'm famous as shit, and this shit still affected me. Millions of dollars, and I still couldn't keep my son from down there. I was the one with him in them programs and sitting on 28th and Girard in there with my son and people coming in there laughing. And I'm just trying to get my son better. Like, this shit is real.
Yeah,
Like, it don't matter who you is, it can affect you. No matter who you are. Like, it's real, man. That's why we gotta do better, man. We gotta try. That's why I do what I do. That's why when I see them kids graduate, it fucking do something to my heart. Like, it's real, man. And we gotta do better. We gotta come together and do better. I don't even talk about what happened to my son. Like, y'all hear me talk about what happened to my daughter. My daughter passed away from cancer. But I don't even really talk about what happened to my son because this shit hurt. Like, people look at me like, yeah, you Freeway, you supposed to, like, I did everything. We lived in the suburbs. He went to the school. When he started messing up in school in Philly, he went to school there. I was still paying child support to his people, and I took him and had him up there with me and had him in school up there with me, and it still happened to him. He knew Jay-Z. Wallow talked to him, everything, no matter what. We tried everything. I locked him in the house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I tried everything. You know, it's real, man. No matter who you are, no matter how much money you got, it can affect you. Like,
Yeah.
It's wicked out here, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Like, there's no joke.
I talk about it all the time too, and I speak about, you know, money, and I always speak about it to a sense where I say, like, money isn't everything. It's valuable because you have to have it because it provides a way to live. But just because you got money doesn't mean you can stop everything. Like, I got a son.
Money is valuable, but I don't worship money.
Me neither.
Like, you know, I've been pop after being famous. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like money come and go. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's about when you make mistakes with money, learning from your experiences and trying to do better, man. Like, you know what I mean? Because money is a valuable tool. We need it. I'm definitely not as happy as I am when I got a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody else feels like that, but it's not everything. Like, you know.
Yeah. I got a son, man. I got a son who's 20 years old, and he has an addiction, and I fight with him.
Man.
Do it. Like I'm talking about really like a fist fight. Like I'm
Keep
just
fighting, bro.
I want to reveal something. Like I got arrested for fighting for my son. Actually, in his addiction, actually attacked me, but they ended up locking me up for him because, you know, for me defending myself against him. But even to this point now, my son just fled and went somewhere else. And if he's watching this, I'm like, yo, I still love you, son, and I still want to try to help you, son. I'm not turning my back on you because we go through stuff. Material things don't mean nothing to me. What means something to me is you know, changing your life for the better. You know, for you to be a better person. Did you hear? You Freeway. This is our brother in Islam. He lost his son.
Listen, young boy. If you listening, man, my son thought he had it figured out. He thought he knew what he was doing. He thought he knew it all, man. And I had the resources, I had the money, I had the friends, I had everything to save him, and I couldn't save him. That shit haunt me. The last day my son walked out my house. Then I didn't get to say goodbye to him. And then he didn't get to see me. Like, I saw him in the hospital. Like, I saw him at a janazah. Like, you know, I placed him in his grave. The last time he seen me was when I closed that door. You know how much that bothering, like, I could be having a great day and then I think about that and just like,
Just
Young boy, get with your pop, man. Like these streets, like that stuff, like the stuff that you doing, it might feel good, but it ain't it, man. Get with the people that love you, man. Trust me, man. My son thought he had it figured out and he didn't.
Let me ask you this, Free. You know, and before I make this statement, I want to shout out to all the, you know, single mothers out there raising, you know, their kids by themselves and doing a pretty good job with it, man. I salute you
Most
women,
definitely.
man. But how important is it, Free, in today's society, as we came from where we came from to right now where we know, how important is it for a man to be there for his son?
It's very important, man. It's very important. It's probably one of the most important things.
Because I don't think a woman can fully equip him with the tools he need for life.
Bro, like I could just tell you from my experiences in my life and things that I've seen. So when I was growing up, I had my mom and dad. Like they went through some stuff, like, you know, probably when I was like 13 or 14, but I still had them. I had them both in my life. They instilled morals into me. Like, you know, certain things I won't do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I can see the difference in my life and some of my friends that didn't have a dad. Like, I got friends that didn't have a dad that don't give a F about nothing, that'll blow your brains out and won't even think about it. Like, you know what I mean? Because they didn't have that man in their house to, like, instill what a man needs to instill into a son or a daughter.
And only a man can do
That
it.
only a man can do, man. I'm telling you.
No
like,
disrespect to the ladies, but it's only a certain point that the women can reach. A man has to be present with a boy. That's what I think anyway.
females
I
too.
feel like a man.
Well, with females too,
I
but
feel
I'm
like,
talking about, but the man to make him bend that, would you say the curve? You see the curve. See, the woman gonna get you on the road, but when that curve come, the man got to be there. She
yeah,
can't
I
take
feel like
that
the
curve.
best thing for a child is a 2-parent household.
So you don't think a man can do it by himself either?
I
He
feel
needs
like
that woman.
It would probably be a little better with a man, but they need that balance. What we say earlier.
Balance. That's what we said,
why
Frank.
that's why it's set up like that.
Exactly.
Because we need that balance. Like if it was something different, then it wouldn't be set up like that. Like, you know.
Wow, man. And you know, and Free, man, you know, I'm sorry to hear about your son, man. I heard about it, but I didn't know the extent of the story.
Yeah, man. Damn, man.
I
Yeah, I
felt
don't even
that,
really
man.
like. I just, man, listen. I don't even really talk about it like that, man. It's embarrassing. It hurt. All kinds of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying. But if I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, like, listen, man. Like, it happened. Like, you know what I'm saying. And like, it can happen to anybody. I mean, you know what I mean. Famous people I know, rich people I know that kids they going through with their kids and their kids got. Like, ask Wallow. He be talking on everybody's kids. Like Wallow, like, you know, when rest in peace to Cheese. Shout out to my brother Gil. I love you, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, Cheese, Rahimullah.
Like, man, Wallow had conversations like, man, I talked to Cheese. I talked to your son. Like, I got videos of Wallow talking to my son. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and we got all these people like pouring into them. Like, you know, and then tragedy still happen, man. Like,
And you know, sometimes you know, kids, man, because it'll be kids watching this episode. You know, you heard it from me. You know, you see Free speaking about his son, man. Like, the only reason why we fight with y'all and try to get y'all on the right path is because we care about y'all, not because we're trying to obtain some type of success, some type of money. It ain't about none of that. It's about just wanting better for y'all.
And not even that,
Exactly.
not just that, right, bro? But guess what? We all three done been through it. Ain't nobody no squares sitting up here.
for sure. most
Niggas
definitely.
done made they bones, and that's not no applaud. I'm not saying that for applaud, but we done made the same pitfalls, and by the grace of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're still here to correct it. So now when we have sons, it's easier to see the pit. Bro, I know there's a hole up there. I done walked this road before. There's a hole right there that you don't see.
Exactly. Man.
Not to be on your top and then I got a drawing ass pop and nah, bro. It's a whole nother side that you ain't seen yet. And that's just
Yeah,
it.
young folks, like, they think they got it figured out, but they don't. Like, you know, I'm still trying. I'm 40-something, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I still need help with certain things. And
You
I
too?
still need knowledge from certain people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
No.
I'm famous. I'm a deputy sheriff in Philadelphia. Like, and I got that from community work, not because I'm a cop.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I still get nervous. I'm famous. I got my own day in Philadelphia, and I still get nervous when the cops get behind me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
my son talked to me about how he got into his addiction and what he spoke about, us letting him go certain places, us letting him hang around certain people and so forth and so on, and that caused him to get into his addiction or whatever he had going on. Did your son ever speak to you about how he got into his addiction?
That's good, man. That's good that you that's a good sign that he talked to you and he opened up to you, because my son was in denial. Like, nigga, we see you high. Like, I just had to put you on a program, and he still was like, nah, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was in denial about it.
So basically your advice would be, man, dig into your kids' affairs.
And don't give up. Don't give up no matter what. Don't ever give up on your kids, man. Never. No matter
But don't
what.
it come up, I could see, I'm not saying that I agree with the parents that do give up, but kids be out here going crazy, man. You don't think that'd be a breaking point? Like, all right, man. You think you know it all? I done helped you. You stealing out the house. Or you crashed your mom's car. You stole your mom's car. Like, kids do shit that you be like, damn, bro, what is you doing?
We're responsible for our kids, though, as parents. Yeah. So, like, if we don't do it, who else gonna do it?
Yeah.
If you give up on them,
there's gonna be BTA if they go to the streets.
Yeah, they ain't gonna have as much mercy as you will. Trust
me.
Exactly. Now, you lost your daughter as well. You said to cancer.
Yeah. Shout out. I miss my daughter so much, man.
How was? I mean, I know you went through with your son, and then to have to go through that right after losing your son. And how long was she battling cancer?
She actually was diagnosed in September. My son died in October. So she was diagnosed in September, and then like I said, my son was doing good. Like probably up to August, like he was doing good. Like we was chilling. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then that one weekend, things just went left. So she was diagnosed in September. Then in October, my son passed away. We buried my son, and we go back to rumbling. She had a rare cancer called sarcoma, and I don't think nobody survived that, John. They said one person might have lived 15 years, but we still was hopeful. We was prayed up, and it just was rough. Like, she had tumors everywhere, but alhamdulillah, she still had a smile on her face through it all, man. And she's a beautiful person, man, and I truly believe that she's gonna make it to Jannah, inshallah. The way she dealt with her challenges, and up until the last moment, rough,
Freeway.
man. You got somebody. If you know somebody that's going through cancer, it's important that you be there and you be supportive of them, man, because it's rough, man. I remember my daughter came to me and was like, "Dad, I think the doctors is giving up on me."
Wow.
That, man,
Freeway, I sit right here, right? And I did a lot of time in jail. And I respect you. I've had respect for you before I met you today.
Thank you, brother.
You mean off your lyrics, off of the way you move. And I want to tell you to your face, man, I got a whole nother respect for you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I done did all this time in prison, and that ain't nothing like losing one child, but not only one, but two. And for you to still to be growing and building in the direction that you building in, man, I'm giving you your flowers, man.
Thank you, bro.
I respect that, man. I respect the work that you doing, man. I respect the man that you are. That's way worse than me. I could have did 50 years. And that shit ain't got nothing on what you got going on, bro. And guess what? You ain't blaming nobody. You could be sitting back. You know how many people probably go through that and just give up?
Yeah, man. Just one of those experiences.
You know what I'm saying?
Then my pop passed away in 2022 during dementia. Then when we all lived together. So, when Jihad passed away, he had dementia. He like, where'd Jihad? Where'd Jihad at? And I didn't even want to. I told him a couple times, but then I couldn't even keep telling him, because every time I told him, he'd be like, man, it's sad, and
He didn't want to mess with his mental. Yeah, was going through a lot.
Then when Harmony died, he used to be like Harmony, and Harmony used to be like Pop. So my dad used to walk around like Harmony, and there was no Pop, for her to say Pop. So he'd be like, where's Harmony at? And I'd just be like, she had to go away. I didn't want to put him through that no more. Because it was like he was getting hurt every time. And then that dementia, man, if you got somebody dealing with dementia, be there for them. Because, I can't imagine how lonely that is. It was a point when my dad would ask me for me, and I'm right there. He'd be like, yo, where Freeway at? And I'm like, Dad, I'm right here. And he'd be like I'll see him, and he'll be like, Like he'd be like, okay, like, but he don't really believe me.
You were absolutely right. I grew up in foster care, right? And we had a foster family, and she was a cool lady, but she died from that. And I was living in her house, me and 2 other dudes, and she had sent us to the store for milk. We'd be going to the store about 3-4 minutes, corner store.
Mm-hmm.
We come back to the house, we can't get in. Next thing, 5 minutes later, all these cops pulling up. Like, damn, what happened? Hey, lay down, y'all trying to break in this lady's house.
Yeah.
She don't even know. She said we trying to break in,
Wow.
and she got us living in her house. They like, ma'am, they had to take us from her. Like,
Wow.
yeah, you can't even, these are the kids that you acquired through adoption. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about they break into your house. You just sit in the store to get some milk. So I understand exactly what you mean by it. It get lonely, man.
It get lonely.
It get very lonely, man.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
I went through that with, my father-in-law, Yusuf Rahimullah. He passed away, but he had dementia. And one day he left out the door and was gone for maybe 2 weeks.
Yo, one day my cousin let my dad leave out the door. My little cousin, man, he let him leave out, and then he went to go find him, right? So then the cops brought him back. So I told the cops, like, yeah, my cousin went to go find him. And it was like, he got a blue truck. I was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, he came and seen us and sat behind us and then pulled off. Like, he was like scared of the cops. Like, he sat behind him, ain't even tell him that was his uncle. But they had to bring him to the crib. Like, he wound up out the development and in Costco's. Then it was cold. He was I felt horrible. Like,
yeah, it's the same thing happened to my father-in-law. They said he was going. The cops brought him to the house. He was out there in the cold for 2 weeks, man.
Wow. No, he was only there for like an hour or two. But
they
2
found him
weeks,
walking
crazy.
around like in a development. Mm-hmm. And they brought him to us. And it's like he was freezing cold and
Alhamdulillah,
he survived, man.
Yeah, man. That's rough.
Yeah, man. It was that was difficult, but Free, man. Your trials and tribulations, man, and you're still going strong and
strong, Free, strong.
That's
I
motivating
admire
me.
you, bro.
That's motivating me because
Thank you, man.
stuff I go through, I'm like, it can't be, it's not that bad, man. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, then there's people that like, I do a live every Tuesday. It's called Feeling Healthier Freeway, Road to a Healthier You, where we come together for like an hour and like whatever you're dealing with, we could talk about it. If you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, if you got a health issue, mental health, whatever, you're having a bad day, you're having a good day, whatever you want to talk about, we come together and we talk about it. And there's people that lost 3 people in 1 week, or like I lost 3 people in 3 years. Somebody called and I think they lost 3 people in 1 week or something like that. And then some people lost 3 people in a car accident in the same day. So it's always somebody
doing worse than you.
Yeah,
it's like I said, when Max said that to me, when Max said that line, he said that even that's on a small scale, but just think about it though.
Yeah. You
complain about sneaks and there's people who ain't got no feet. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna keep saying that, but because it really set. Because when I go through things, I'll be sitting back like, man, I can't complain about nothing. And man, I'm be riding in the car, like, man, how you just deal with stuff? Like, because I had nothing to complain about. Like you said, I done been all around the world. I didn't travel. I did so much stuff, and I done seen so much. And I done took losses before. So it's like, why am I complaining? What do I have to complain about? I have nothing to complain about. And I have opportunity every day to go out, like you said, just stand in front of your door and just breathe. I have opportunity to go outside and try to make something happen. People don't even have that opportunity. If you go to the children's hospital, it's hundreds of kids in there who can't even come outside. They have cancer. They have these type of diseases. They can't come out. And then there's adults in there who just confined to a bed and they can't come out.
Or the penitentiary.
Yeah, even that.
They hit. They getting waited on every day. You in a big old daycare. That's what the penitentiary is a daycare. You in there getting governed by other people's rules, not your own, and you can't do nothing on your own.
You in the big ass daycare, and you crazy if you think daycare.
And you crazy if you think daycare. Drop it. Come on, man. You in a big ass daycare, and you crazy if you think daycare. Come on, man. Come on, Free, man. Yeah.
For sure.
I know just to kind of go into back into this where we're from in our community. It was something you said. You said take it with me when I cash my check, so they can see clean money.
And so they could clean money. You came from spitting the raw and off a bundle, got to stash the rest.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Like I remember I got a check for $10,000, and I went to cash that joint. I took some of my young boys with me. Like,
yeah.
this is legitimate here. Like, we can do it. I'm doing it. Like,
and you know, that's the thing. Like, we talk about a lot of the young boys who under us who are going to prison. As the elders or the older people around them, we gotta kind of, you know, reach out to them and try to take them to see different things.
Yeah, for sure.
I talked to him. I said, it's an opportunity that's available for me, and I said, what I'm gonna start doing for a lot of the young guys, I'm gonna start taking them out of the city. For those who want to go, taking them to places to have like different kind of meetings and different kind of things with them to try to show them something different.
For sure.
But then then while me thinking that, and then now the indictments came, and a lot of the young boys that's from our neighborhood, you know, that YBC gang and stuff like that is going on. They all now indicted.
And a lot of them young boys is hot, man. A lot of them young boys got bars.
They got talent.
On all sides. Like, I'll be like, damn.
A lot of them, my young boy, yo, shout out to Milky, man, Baby Yacht, man. He can box.
Imagine if they came together. Like, imagine how crazy it would be. Like, could really take over, man.
I'm talking about these dudes be athletes, artists. I'm talking about their minds. And when you meet these kids and before the things happen to them, you be like, well, damn, you got all the tools to succeed in life.
And then, like, it's not just like music play a major part in it for sure. Like, all the crazy stuff, the music.
As far as influence, what you do?
As far as influence, it play a major part of what's going on. But we got to think about them video games too, like Call of Duty and all that.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, like, I mean, they already like home 24 hours shooting, like, so they like, man, we about to take this in real life.
To the street, yeah.
So, Free, man, do you plan on continue to go to the prisons to speak at the prisons? Is this something you're going to continue to do?
Most definitely. Soon. I'm about to go visit a prison in Jersey, and I'm probably gonna go back to Chester soon. So,
how is it for you when you're doing that, Free? Because when I sit up here and I tell these stories, right, and it be real stories, and it's not bragging or a badge of honor. It be therapeutic for me.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Like when I'm done talking to you today, when we close these cameras down and I hug, because I want to give you a big hug. No homo before you get on his not on duty. But man, when I walk away from this today, I got a different perspective of life, man. Because I always be complaining about a lot of stuff, man.
Everything.
A lot of stuff. But now after talking to you, this is something that I needed. Just the mere conversation of hearing another perspective, man, goes so far. But how would it be when you go in them penitentiaries, man?
Everything I do is therapeutic, man. It's just being in there with the brothers, like, you know, sharing my story, being able to get them some good advice, seeing their reactions, and, like, you know what I mean? It means a lot to me. The live that I do every Tuesday, sometimes that joint help me get through the week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even just to be able to talk about what I'm going through.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a blessing, man. Like, you know, alhamdulillah that I'm in a position to be able to do that. Because I could have lost my life to this kidney failure. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have lost, before that, I could have lost my life in the shootout in the streets, like, way back in the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have been up. I got a couple homies that I could be right next to in jail right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's alhamdulillah for the opportunity and to be able to be here, and all the experiences that I've been through shaped me who I am. Like, as Muslims, we all know the pen has been lifted and the ink has been dry. And the only thing that can change what's already written for us is sincere dua. You know, so we got to carry it as such, you know, and try to do the best.
TNS Licensing and Consulting. Contact them today. They can help you out. Get your business going. Whether you want to start a home care agency, you want to start a dental office, you want to start, any type of business, any type of store you want to open, whatever it is you want to do, open a hair salon, a nailery, you name it. TNS Licensing and Consulting will get you started. They get you your EIN, your LLC, your articles of corporation. Also, they can teach you and show you how to apply for certain grants for your business. Contact TNS Licensing and Consulting today, 267-534-5053, 267-534-5053. Contact them today. Contact and call them now.
So we can do.
Let me ask you a question. We speak about the young boys like coming around and being around us and showing them different things. You know, you got with Rockefeller Records and Jay-Z and these guys. How instrumental was it to you? Like, because you coming from the hood.
Yeah, most definitely.
And now getting around guys who are kind of established, how important was that for you to help shape you as far as your mental and seeing like, hey, listen, this world is way bigger than Philadelphia?
It did a lot for me, man. Like, it opened up my eyes. Like I told y'all, like, Dame told us to make sure we pay our taxes in the beginning. Like, you know, every time I was around Jay, I would try to pick up a jewel from him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it did a lot for me. I didn't even know what a full course meal was. Like, a full course meal. Like, I remember when Beans and Bleak got their rock changed, they took us to Philippe Child's, and they got like a room in the basement for us to eat. And they brought out like the chicken satay and the lettuce wraps.
The peanut sauce.
I'm going crazy. I'm thinking this the meal. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going crazy on them Jones. And then I'm almost full off that. Then here come the second course, the steaks. I'm like, what's this? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm new to that.
They opened my eyes to fine dining, a lot of different things. Like, you know, so it's a blessing, like experiences, like getting to see different things. Like what you were saying earlier, like taking the young folks, like we do some work in Wilmington, Delaware too. So we did a couple digital media cohorts at the community education building in Wilmington. Pardon me. And maybe like, I think it was last summer, we did a cohort with some younger kids. I think they was like between like 15 and 18 or something like that. And, you know, we took them to see the Book of Hove. We took them to Rock Nation so they could see how a record label is ran. We took them to Rock Nation Sports so they could see how a sports agency is ran. We took them to Plains so they could see how a clothing line is ran. And then when we got back, like, they was telling me, some of the kids was like, yeah, Freeway took us all around the world. And like, we just went to New York. They never been out of Wilmington before. Wow. You know, so that opened their eyes to a whole new world. I remember when I was a young boy, I'm originally from West, so at one point, all I knew was the Avenue, because my peoples lived on like 41st in Parkside. My grandma would take me to the Avenue, Lancaster Avenue.
Ave, yeah.
That was the world to me. It was super big. Then when I moved out west, when I was like 9 and 10.
You mean north?
No, when I moved further, because I lived on Parkside, then I moved to Lindenwood. So that's Parkside is like closer to down the bottom near the zoo. Then I moved to up 52nd Street. And like, you know, once I got up there, I seen a bunch of different things. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, it just the different experiences and everything I've been through, you know, made me who I am, man. And it's real. Wow.
And, you know, Free, like we always talk about experiences in life and the things that you go through. You know, what advice do you have people out here that's, you know, that's going through stuff? We speak about the kids, but we're not really talking about the actual adults who are fathering these children or mothering these children and the things that we go through. What advice can you give to the parents out there who are dealing with, you know, parenting issues as far as raising their children?
Troubled kids and stuff like that.
My advice for everybody, like, first and foremost, have God as your foundation. Like, you know, when you start with God as your foundation, it helps tremendously. Trust me. Like, you know what I mean? If you got a good understanding of who God is and you have an understanding of who you are and what's your purpose here, then it helps make things a little easier. And then my other advice is be patient. Like, be patient with them kids. Be patient with them trials. Whatever you're going through, be patient. You know, with every difficulty comes ease. Wow. Like, that's a promise from God, and we gotta believe that. We gotta stand on that. Everything I've been through, with every difficulty I've been through, came ease. Like, you know, like I had kidney failure. You know, they told me what I needed to do to get a transplant. You got to do this workup to get on the transplant list. I did the workup. I got on the transplant list. I stayed active. I didn't miss a treatment of dialysis, and in 2019, I got a new kidney. Alhamdulillah.
And also, you. Like you said, you know, millions of dollars, you know, been all around the world, you know, close friend Jay-Z. After obtaining all that, what motivates you to continue to keep going forward?
Well, right now, at this point, trying to make my good outweigh my bad. Like, you know, like the majority of the work, like, that's the work that I feel the best about, and that's not about me. Like, you know, when I make music and certain things, that's for me. Like, that's me releasing, and it's therapeutic for me because it's me releasing whatever I'm going through and getting the message out there at the same time. But the other work that I'm doing, like, for people, that's for people. Like, you know, that's for me too, trying to make sure my good outweighs my bad. But I'm doing it solely to try to help people and uplift people, man, and help people get in a better position.
Mm. Yeah, man. You know, another question I got in the city of Philadelphia, right? Once again, do you see, where is that now? Do you see it getting any better? Like, if you can, they kind of, I mean, I know that's a question where as though you gotta have a lot of numbers in front of you to kind of answer it. But from what you see, do you think that it's getting better or that it can get better?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it could get better. Like, I feel like we on the way. I feel like it's gonna take time, but I feel like we on the way.
Mm.
I just told you we almost graduated almost 200 students. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at the work that Mayor Parker is doing with her foundation. Like, a lot of people may not agree with some of the things that she's doing, but she's doing a lot of work with the green initiative. Like, you know, trying to help the communities and help better the people. We got people like Mike that's doing a lot of work in the prisons. Like, you know, we got people like y'all with y'all podcast that's bringing people on here and allowing them to share their stories that can relate to people and help better people and help people realize that they have other choices out here. So if we all continue to put the work in and we all continue to try to uplift each other and be better, we ain't got no choice but to be better.
Mm-hmm. Wow, man. And one more thing, man, I just want to say, like, I heard Gilly say something. He said that you helped him wash his son's body.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand in our religion that, you know, we wash the body of our individuals who lose their lives. How was that, you know, helping somebody that you know, and seeing the pain that Gilly was going through after losing his son and being there for him through that whole process? And what prompted you to actually, you know, want to be a part of that process?
Man, I just went into, like, you know what I mean, that's my brother. So I didn't even think. Like, you know, I just experienced it. I'm a firm believer in the experiences that we go through is not just for us. It's to help other people and to share the experiences with other people. So I've been through this twice. That's my brother. Who else gonna help me? Like, you know what I mean? I'm unfortunately, I'm an expert. I buried my son and my daughter and my dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I have this knowledge. Why not help my brother?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy because that night when Cheese passed away, may Allah have mercy on him.
Rahimullah. No.
I was at like a movie premiere downtown, like near the gallery or whatever. And usually, like, if I'm downtown, I jump on the E-way, go home, like go all the way out to the suburbs or whatever. But this day I chose, because I could get to my crib riding through the city too, like all the way down Broad Street and go the other way or whatever. So I chose to ride through the city that day. And like, when I'm riding down Broad Street, then Wallow called me like, yo, they killed Cheese. They killed Cheese. She's gone. I got there in like 5 minutes. I know they like, yo, how you get here that fast? Like, you know what I'm saying? And normally I wouldn't even have went that way. Like, you know, and as soon as I seen Gil, I hugged him, man. And I like, that shit hurt, man. I lost my son, and then my brother lost his son. Like, that hurt. And the crate, like, even like when Oskino's son died, when I got the news that Oskino's son died, I think it was a Saturday, I was in the studio. And when I heard, you know, that's my brother, so I'm like, damn, like, you know, I don't know if I reached out to him, maybe I didn't, I don't remember, but I know I was recording in the middle of recording. I'm a reality rapper, I talk about what I go through, so I was like, my brother Oskino just lost his son. I'll probably lose my mind if I lost a child. I still got the record. And then 4 days later, my son died. I went to Oskino's son Janaza, and then my son died 504 that same day. And our birthdays is 4 days apart.
Wow.
So I was still trying to wrap my mind around that. Like, wow, like, you know, like. But yeah, it's our duty as Muslims, and you know, that's Gil, my brother, so I had to be there for him. Like, it was like, you know.
Yeah, he spoke about that, and he was like, man, thanks to Free, like, man, Free helped me get, you know, because people understand, you know, like washing a body, it's a lot that goes with that, man.
Yeah, man.
And then you gotta, it's a lot. You gotta, you know, turn the body and move, and this is your loved one.
Somebody that you love
who died.
unconditionally.
And then you have to really be able to stomach it because, like you said, Gilly's son died in gun violence.
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to stomach what you see.
Yep.
While watching your body, and not
and keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you
What
can't
you see,
tell nobody
yeah.
what you see in that joint.
Yeah. So having to do that, not only do you lose a child, you gotta wash that child, and then you also gotta place that child inside the grave.
Yep.
You know, and that's tough
Heavy.
for anybody.
Heavy on the mental.
You walk in there and see.
I got to wash and wrap my dad, but when my son passed away, it was still COVID, so I couldn't even wash and wrap him. The brother that washed and wrapped him, I got to hug him and give him my love and I really appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's rough. But the beautiful thing about Islam, and the reason why I'm Muslim is because Islam makes sense to me. Everything makes sense to me. And the beautiful thing about Islam, my mom and my aunts is not Muslim. My father, alhamdulillah, got to take him to take Shahada. He when he passed away, he had a Shahada. My son and my daughter, of course, they were Muslim or whatever, And after my son's Jannah, my mom and my aunts, they stone cold Christians. And I'm pretty sure if you have any people that's not Muslim in your family, you're probably the same way. We want our family members to be Muslim. So we always, as much as we can.
My dad, my mom, I'll be on them.
We try to give them dawah or whatever. So after my son's janazah, after they seen us pray over my son and they seen us put him in the grave, they came to me and they was like, we never seen nothing this beautiful before. The care that y'all take, that y'all give y'all loved ones is beautiful. It's amazing. And now they're a little more receptive when I share information to them.
Yeah.
I share information with them, man. So, that's the beauty of Islam. And that's what I'm talking about, even with the young folks in our community, when y'all ask me, what should we do to help them be better? We got to show them. You know what I mean? When my mom and my aunt seen that with their own eyes, they oh, wow, this is beautiful. This is what Islam is about. Because if you listen to the news and you think we run around
some wild, crazy. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's about real experiences and getting to see with your own eyes. And I feel like we show these young folks and we in their face and we let them see and feel and experience the real, inshallah, slowly but surely they'll come around.
Yeah, man. So I just want to say to you, man, thank you, Free, man, for coming through today, man, once again.
No problem,
and sharing your story, your pain, man. You got me up here crying with you, man. And
thank you.
And I have a son, like I said, I got two sons. I got a little baby son now. I got a little boy, and every day I look forward to
love them, man.
Being with him every single day. I look forward to. I rush home to see him. I'm holding him, looking at him at night. I'm just everything that I'm changing. I'm just being a father. Trying to be a father, and I'm also thinking about what I'm going to do as he get older. How I'm going to try to raise him and do different things. Man.
Inshallah, you do a good job. He's going to be there for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, because our kids are very, very important. Everybody, like you said, you Freeway, man. So people probably already know how to find you on social media. But for those who cannot find you on social media, may need some help with some guidance.
Yeah.
Where can they find you at, Free?
On Instagram, I'm Philly Freeway. On Facebook, I'm Philadelphia Freeway. On X, I'm Philly Freezer. And I got a TikTok, but I don't even really be on that joint. I don't even remember what that joint is. And the website for Freedom Thinkers Academy is www.freedomthinkers.academy.
And what else do you have coming up next? You got anything coming as far as any new movements as far as what you doing for the community?
I'm dropping a project, Philly 250, probably within the next month. My third annual Free Fest at the Philadelphia Navy Yard is next Saturday, August 1st, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we got a bunch of stuff going on with the community. We're gonna have some more cohorts, some more digital media cohorts and phlebotomy cohorts popping up real soon, probably September. So, check in with me on my social medias for the information. And, we're going to just keep pushing forward and trying to uplift the community as much as we can, inshallah.
For sure. And also, us, Tales from the Jails, we are on all platforms as well. We on, you can find us on Instagram at Tales from the Jails. Also, you can find us on TikTok at Tales from the Jails. Also, we're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all those platforms as well. And thanks to y'all, our podcast is just got into the top 200 podcasts. Apple Podcasts. So that's a major thing. You know what I'm saying? That's to do that. Thank you, man. And we just want to keep pushing, man, and keep doing what we're doing. We thank y'all for tuning in. Anything you want to say, Young, before we get up out of here?
Man, I just want hug free. I'm just trying to hug Freeway, man. You know what I mean? That's it, man.
Yeah, show some love, man.
Yeah.
Show some love. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in once again. Thank everybody for their support. Thank everybody who's been tuning in and rocking with us from day one. Also, everybody who's been supporting Freeway. You know, Freeway is somebody in Philadelphia. I would say Philadelphia, starting with Philadelphia. I know we worldwide, but Philadelphia, everybody know Freeway is somebody who's legendary in our communities for a lot of good reasons. So thank you, Free, once again, man. And it's Tales from the Jails. We out of here.